everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. Thank you to all of you that have recently followed me, those that you've been on the journey right from the very beginning, all your comments, your ideas, a few products that you've recently been telling me about that I didn't know about, and some YouTuber recommendations for me to follow and get ideas from other people. Thank you very, very much. A couple of people have said, that I'm not very good at showing befores and afters, and some people have said, well, all you're doing is household chores. That's right, that's what this whole channel is about. Me doing household chores and trying to get tidier, as the name suggests. Also, the before is always at the start of the video, and the end is always at the end of the video. So I don't necessarily do some photographs, but maybe I should do some photographs like of that corner. So the other day I did work on my daughter's bedroom, didn't I? And you made quite a few comments and likes on that. So this is just the front of her bedroom, which is all very messy. I talked to her about getting rid of this cot, little baby's cot that used to be mine. She doesn't really use it that much. It sort of stores some favourite cuddly toys, but at the moment she wants to keep it. Her crochet bag's there, and also I found quite a few toys to put in recycling, containers really, as opposed to toys, and some toys that we could give away to charity. There you'll just see me with a warm cloth, just going right up close to the skirting boards to get the dust, which the Hoover can't pick up. I don't know what other people do to clean that, but that's always what I've done. Just take a clean cloth, warm it, and then just go along the edge and just scrape the dust quite close to the skirting board. Now these little cupboards at the ends of her bed, really useful for storage, but we've got a lot of things in there that she's not looked at for quite some time. So the one that I've just opened, that one on the right, that's got items that she's been given by, there's a teapot there from her great-grandmother, so for her to have when she's an adult. A few other bits like a lantern for her to have when she's an adult. So I've moved all of them into one area. And then there's a few other things, like I think that old fairy bottle was part of some contraption that she'd made when she did junk modelling. So things that, were fun to make at the time, but they've served their purpose, and now we can get rid of them. So what I'm also doing is, remember the other day when I was going through a drawer and there was loads of her certificates and schoolwork, etc, etc. I'm going to put all that in one of these cupboards. That will mean the drawer will be free of the certificates, so there'll be more space in the drawer. And also where I've got loads of things in my bedroom, certificates and schoolwork, etc, I'll be able to put that in here. So we'll just be able to fill one area. And one area only. There's quite a lot of toys here and quite a few things my daughter had a little look at and said, yep, happy to get rid of that, happy to give that to charity, happy for that to go to a new home. So that was a good job done. So I've created more space, which those of you that have followed me for a while know that I always get excited when I've created more space for things in cupboards. I just think it's a great feeling. More space to hide other things that I'm hoarding. So you'll see me go through here, and these are school books. So some school books that I looked at 6 months ago and I decided I want to keep. Now I've then looked at again, like there's the odd spelling book and another book that she's hardly filled in. So I decided to get rid of them. And here I am taking from that bottom drawer all the certificates and the books, etc, that I was putting in there, taking them out, ready to go to put in the little cupboard at the end. And then you can see the massive pile of clothes that I need to put away. So I tried to put like Girl Guides things all in the Girl Guides bag, the swimming things all in the swimming bag, so it's got some sort of sense of order. I do hear what some of you say about having too many clothes. We've been really lucky that we've had some clothes from the next door neighbour. And also my daughter's quite petite, so she's wearing some clothes that are like age 8, 9 and some clothes that are age like 11 to 12. But there will come a time we'll probably get less from the next door neighbour, and also she'll outgrow some of the things, and I will give them away to charity. And I know a couple of you commented because I said about some of the things I keep. I don't keep loads of her clothes from when she was little. I keep just the odd item of clothing which say is very good quality, and I think it'll have a purpose in the future if she was to have any children herself. My mum kept clothes that were mine that were particularly special, and they were then part my daughter then wore them. Also, I do keep hold of clothes in certain brands, and I know a lot of second-hand clothes don't hold their value, but certain brands do. So I do keep hold of them, and then I'll put them on eBay when I have spare time. So I'm putting everything away in the drawers there. Sort of the bigger tops and tracksuit bottoms and that sort of thing go in the bottom drawer there. And then taking the clothes basket out of the room. So that was the job that I did in her bedroom. Then I wanted to sort out, just do the tidy up of the lounge that I always do. Try to do it from a bit of a different angle, so you can see it from this angle. Plump up the pillows and the cushions and the throws, and then tidy away the pile which always sits at my feet, always things for me to do. And then on into the kitchen. So the kitchen, this was last night. As you always know, I'm just trying to maintain this. It was kept at the certain level and doesn't slip back into how it was a few months ago. Someone asks me about that little white stand to the left of my draining rack. That is a little stand that was, I've got two of these, that was in my lounge with plants on, but it can only hold really small plants, and some of the plants died. So I left it there because I didn't know what to do with it. What should I do with it? I don't know. So both of us are in the kitchen because I thought I'd wash up, and my husband's making crumble. So 2 big packs of raspberries and a pack of blackberries for my daughter. There's not many breakfasts that she can have in the morning, and I'm sorry this is so fast. It's a bit manic, isn't it? I don't know why my phone does this sometimes. So I decided to make it a bit slower later on. So this is today. So today, me and my husband did the school run together, and then I had a call at about 9:15, and then I left the house at 9:30 to go and meet a learner at their business premises. After that didn't last the full hour, so I was a bit ahead of time, which was great. So my second meeting, I messaged them and had the meeting a little bit earlier. So this is the work that I do on apprenticeships. So at the moment I'm like an assessor for business, HR, learning and development, and also firefighting. So that was a good morning. Then I came back probably at 1 o'clock. My husband had done lunch for me. And then between my next call, after I had my lunch, I decided that I'd do a slow time video because that last one was a bit manic. And this I think is much calming. And what I'd noticed was that the fruit bowl was getting like ridiculous. We've got a big fruit bowl. Then my husband had laid one of our placemats on the top of the piano, and then just piled all the fruit there in the cardboard and in the plastic. And there's one thing that I really don't like is that. I think it's really important that when you do the shopping, you unpack the fruit, you wash the apples, then you put it all in the dish. So I decided that I'd spend a little bit of time just doing that, putting all the fruit into the fruit bowl, and then getting rid of all the rubbish, which you can see there's quite a lot. And there's like about 4 cardboard containers, 3 or 4 tangerine wrappers all piled up, and a banana which was past it. So got rid of all of that, and then put the fruit bowl back onto the piano. So it didn't take that long, but just good to get a little job done. And it just makes the piano look clearer and tidier rather than kind of fruit piled all the way across the piano. And then you can see here back in the kitchen, I'm putting the recycling in the recycling bin, put the rubbish in the rubbish bin, and then I do a bit more in the kitchen to sort things out. It's really funny, when you do it like at slow time, it makes you realise how long things actually take you. Because when I look at this, I feel like I'm going around like a snail, like I've got all day. But it's because I'm so used to seeing myself like at 5 times speed. So after I did some in the kitchen, did some work in the kitchen, I then had a meeting online, 2 o'clock till 2:30. And to be honest, I felt quite irritated all day today. My laptop has been an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Everything that I've tried to do, the prep work that I did for meetings wouldn't come up. The laptop doesn't seem to like going from Wi-Fi to data. So that kept like complaining. And then the really frustrating thing was at 3:15 to 3:15 to 3:30, I was invited to a senior manager meeting to give a briefing on departmental progress in an area of work in my other job. And so I was preparing for the meeting, brought up the presentation, only it wouldn't load. So I then had to log off the computer and log back onto the computer, which I'd already done 5 times that day. And then I went into the folder, and thank goodness, about 3 minutes before the meeting was due to start, it then loaded. So you can imagine I was feeling quite stressed at that point. Only that when I then joined the meeting, they were all meeting face to face, and they'd got me and 2 other people joining remotely, but their camera and their system didn't work, so they couldn't accept any people joining online. So after all that sort of stress and hassle, etc., I then couldn't join anyway. So sorry for that waffle, but back in the kitchen there, you can see my husband showed me a part that he's got for the toilet. So we've had a bit of a nightmare recently. I made a bit of a fuss because it felt like loads of things in the house were breaking. One of the showers is broken, one of the toilets is broken, the radiator is broken. And because I made a fuss, my husband went and bought everything. And then he's tried to do all the jobs at the same time. But the radiator arrived and is the wrong size. The shower arrived, but it's got the wrong controller. And the toilet part he bought was the wrong toilet part. So he's now ordered a new part, and I think he's fitting it as I'm now talking. You can also see me, I went through some cloths. So what I was doing there was deciding which cloths I can put straight in the bin, which I do find quite hard, but which cloths can go straight in the bin, and which cloths are suitable for like decorating in old rags. And when my husband came downstairs, he said, oh, well, I'll take a couple of them for when I'm doing the toilet. So he's going to use a couple, and then once he's used them, he's going to put them in the bin because they'll be obviously dirty and no point keeping them once you've used them for all around the toilet, etc. When they're already past it, they've already got holes and stains on, so he can just use it and then get rid of them. So I'm putting another load of washing on, which is kind of like the story of my life, isn't it? I was watching Remy, I think it was Remy Clog, one of her clips, and she was saying how she does a load of washing every day. But even when you do that, it does build up. And she was saying it's because that she's got too much washing. And I was thinking about that. Too much washing, but what that is too many clothes, which is what several of you have been telling me. So I am going to think about what clothes potentially I can get rid of. The thing is, for some of my things, like for instance the top that I'm wearing there, I'll wear that once for work and then I'll put it straight in the wash. I can't wear it again because it's not clean. Whereas other things, like say my tracksuit bottoms around the house, I might wear them for a couple of days. But I'm not like one of these people that just wears everything once and just washes it, apart from obviously underwear. I do wear like my jeggings and so on several times. And then I've had loads of posting recently, so I'm going through all the post, binning the things that I don't need to keep, putting some more things away, generally tidying up in the kitchen. But it's such a difference, isn't it? This sort of slow time video. The disappointment was there was one tray and some meat utensils, and I looked down and thought, I'm going to put them in my charity shop bag in the hall. And just literally 1 minute after me having that thought, I stood on the platter dish thing and broke it. So that was really disappointing. But I thought, could I glue it? And I thought, if I glue it, if I take it to charity shop and it's been glued, who is going to buy it? So I put it straight in the bin. So you'll see me putting the iron away. You'll see me tidying the work surface to try and keep it clear and organised. And that's about it for today. after that I had those calls that I mentioned and went and picked my daughter up with my mum. We've been home, we've had dinner, and my daughter's done some homework and she's now going to play the flute. So I hope you've all had a lovely day. I hope those of you that have been feeling unwell are sort of feeling a lot better. Thank you for your comments, and I also appreciate hearing where you're from. If you haven't commented where you're from, please let me know. It's always interesting to hear where in the world you're from and your different ideas. So thanks a lot for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.